Good evening everyone and welcome to League of Europe. We are here for pre-season race 3. This is technically Division 1, but it is still Lobby 1 with it being the final race of pre-season. And of course I'm James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream here tonight. As always, what a night we have in prospect at Silverstone, of course, track that has been hosted in real life. I've been watching it live on Channel 4, as many people have, if they haven't been getting access to Sky Sport. Beats BBC Radio 5 live every single day of the week. But we are here tonight, and this is the finalised lineup pretty much. This is the drivers you're going to be seeing in Division 1 this season. So with that being said, and if you didn't see it on the podcast, let me run you through who is going to be competing in both tonight's lobby, with only 16 drivers here currently, and indeed for Division 1. So, in Division 1 this season, we have Larkin, New Waluigi, XL Gary, QVR Campbell, the defending champion Alphatrix, the former champion NSX Montana, QVR Verstappen, TTG Toxic, Joom, the Spaniard, and QVR Cohen. That's the first 10. And the second 10 drivers are Killer Blue, D. Daniel, who's been doing quite well in pre-season, LR McCrew, ILRT Matty, Kooky Games, XL Neo, lively outsider I think for the championship, Drop Yay, Rocco, Backy and Spine. So those are the 20 drivers that you're going to be seeing out on track tonight. There are a few reserves as well, and the reserves are as follows: Bullet Boy, who's in the lobby, Just ASAS 12, who's in the lobby, he's in the Ferrari tonight, Sem12_2004, QVR Dakar, and Decky, who was due to race but sadly can't make it, so the German or the Swissman even cannot make it. And of course I'm your commentator, as it shows on the graphic tonight. There's not much really we can preview, to be honest, until the first round of the season. I'm very thrilled to be bringing you the action here tonight for pre-season race 1. I will have a look at the comments section. I will preserve my connection here tonight, so don't, if you want to at me or anything, it'll be best to do it. I think it'll be best to check it probably as we get towards the end of qualifying. But it is good to see everyone tuning in. We are roughly about a minute away from starting here in Britain, so grab your cup of tea, grab your popcorn at the ready, and be thrilled by what we're going to be showing you out on track tonight. We have got, of course, 18 turns awaiting the drivers out on track, through Farm and Abbey, into the village section, then down onto the Wellington Straight, through Aintree, through turn 5, then down towards Brooklands at the end of sector 2, then into Luffield at turn 7, turn 8 as Woodcote, turn 9 being Cops, the old turn 1, then through Maggot and Beckett, through Chapel and onto the Hanger Straight, and then we go through Vale and Club out on track. And if you are very unfamiliar with Silverstone, you shouldn't be if you have been watching Formula 1 this weekend so far. But if you are unfamiliar, there are two DRS zones here. One down the Wellington Straight, down towards turn 6 and at the end of sector 1, and also one down towards the entrance, really, into the old circuit, which is Stowe at turn 15. As we are about to get underway, the message has been given within our Discord server for us to get underway, so we should be just seconds away from seeing on-track action out on track. Do make your predictions, by the way, in the comments section. This is going to be on with safety car on and full damage, so this is really the realistic race before the season actually starts. This is the final chance for all of these 17 drivers, including Alphatrix, who was just made it into the lobby there. All of those 17 drivers have got a light on the line here tonight. Whether they're a reserve, whether they're a full-time driver, doesn't matter. These guys have got to really make it clear to the organisers and got to really ensure that they're on the pace here tonight. So, with that being said, let's get straight into qualifying here at the Silverstone circuit. And the main difference actually on this circuit, down the pit straight, down towards turn 1 at Farm, is that they've actually got an air bridge in over the top of the grandstand. And there's another grandstand to the left-hand side of that. That would have been replicated in real life, of course, if COVID didn't happen. So we should be seeing some great action, I think, out on track. We've just seen the lobby now come into view. We should see the first cars out on track very shortly indeed. as we wait for the lobby to load. I always get nervous at this point. Beautiful blue skies though here in Silverstone. Kind of similar to what we experienced yesterday, with a record temperature of 36.8 degrees being set in the UK. The first cars, I can hear the engines revving up. Toxic, and it looks like Dakar that might be coming out on track, but we are on board with NSX Montana, who is going to be one of the first to come out on track. I think that's an AlphaTauri coming out ahead of him, which possibly could be either Spine or Killer Blue, I think, if I remember, or maybe Rocco. It might be Rocco actually coming out on top out of the pit lane. And it's not, it is Killer Blue, so it is Killer Blue, and he's in a Williams, so my bad. These new liveries are still giving me a little bit of jip, because we have got the new Mercedes livery, and you can see there on your screen the new Williams livery as well. They've got rid of the red on the roll kit livery. So, minute into qualifying, and no set times so far out on the first out on track. Killer Blue's actually been quite surprising, I think, with his pace so far in. Quite a good job. He's got the former champion Montana behind him, so there might be a little bit of pressure on his lap as he now comes through Woodcote and down towards Copse. This corner can be taken flat out. You can just see the minimal weaving that Killer Blue was trying to do. He's trying to preserve the tyres. He'll probably do more weaving down the Wellington straight. You can see him just moving to the right, probably changing his EOS there as well, as he now comes through the Maggott and Beckett section. But we are about to get underway here for qualifying for pre-season race 3 in Lobby 1. And this is the realistic race, essentially, is how I like to call it. Montana just backing off on a lap. Killer Blue now going to set about on a lap as he comes through Stowe, through turn 15, and now through Vale and in towards Club 16, 17 and 18. And that is pretty much a lap, an out lap done. But now this is the real thing for Killer Blue as he now comes through Club Corner. Beautiful through turn 18, and now rises up towards Farm at turn 1. Can take this flat out, and that just a tiny bit of lift, but that's the right-handed corner of Camber Corner. You can see him braking just after the 100 metre board there, in towards the village section now through turn 4, and into the loop. And now through Aintree onto the Wellington straight. Opens up that DRS, can reach in excess of nearly 200 mile an hour down the straight if you're lucky, and Killer Blue is going to manage that down the straight. 26.8 through the first sector for Killer Blue, and the Brit, who was part of Division 2 last season, remember, and I covered him in Japan, is now coming round through Luffield and now towards Woodcote at turn 8, passing the old pit lane here at Silverstone, which is going to be used for the British touring cars later on this year. Killer Blue now coming round Copse, beautiful through there. It's looking like a really nice lap for him so far. We got on board with him as he flies through Maggott and Beckett. Beautiful halo cam actually coming on board with the car. Williams flying through there, and it's a 101.2, faster than what we've been seeing in qualifying in real life. Of course, there will be a big differentiation within the game times compared to the real life times. I think it was like a 24.2, if I'm not mistaken, from Hamilton. That's at Paul. If you didn't tune into qualifying, then I'm sorry, I've just ruined it for you. Killer Blue now around the final corners, looking very nice indeed. He's going to set a 1:24 to begin off with. It's a 24.4 from Killer Blue, about a second quicker to some of the lap times that we were setting, and immediately Montana goes quickest with a 24.2. Cohen just goes in there into third. D. Daniel now coming around the final couple of corners. Toxic goes on top in the Mercedes. D. Daniel across the line goes third. Look at how close it is already here in qualifying. Alphatrix on a set of mediums, only 4/10 off Toxic. Wow. Alphatrix in 6th position now, defending champion. Suku was invalidated on his lap, locking around the final corner. It's just ASAS, I think, getting out the way as he sets a lap. Might have had a mistake, but 24.7 from Larkin, 25.3 from Waluigi. See on board with anybody else. Spine now coming around the final corner, the other Williams. These are the early times, remember. These will get quicker as the track evolves. Spine goes 4th. Neil was coming into the final sector now. 101.1 through the middle sector from the German, who has dominated the last 2 pre-season races. Brilliant performance last time out, as he now, in France, that was. And now Neil ran the final corner. Is he going to go quicker than Toxic? You bet he can, but it's only by 0.06 of a second. Look at how close it is so far in qualifying. Top 5 is separated by 1/10 of a second. That is how close we've got, and even less than that, top 11 separated by 5/10. This is Division 1 pretty much at its finest, I think. Suku has just started off on a lap. It's 29.5 through the middle, through the first sector, and I think actually he might be low on fuel, so expect him to come into the pits. We'll ride on board with him anyways. But early laps have been completed. Neo out on top, Toxic second, Montana in third, D Daniel in fourth. 0.08 of a second separating the top four at this stage. Spine in fifth, Verstappen in sixth, Killer Blue seventh, Cohen in eighth, Alpha Trix on that set of mediums in ninth, 24.6 his time and less than 0.4 off Neo. Dakar filling out the top 10 with Larkin in 11th, while Luigi 12th, Jasesas in 13th. Suku hasn't set a time, neither is Bullet Boy, who is actually out on a lap, I do believe, now. So we'll cut on board with him. He's fastest through the first sector, but that is indicative of the personal best times rather than the session best times. So bear that in mind. Bullet Boy now coming around through Luffield and now through Woodcut and on to the Hangar Straight. Sorry, not the Hangar Straight. Oh, and he's lost connection to the lobby, which is absolutely fantastic. That was a bit of a weird one. Alpha Trix on a lap, he's improving by 0.06 of a second. He's one of the only ones out on track with Neo, who's just coming into the pits. Alpha Trix, the only one out on a lap. Let's see what the defending champion can do. The Brit at his home track, flying through Chapel. Not bad, through the middle sector. Purple through the middle sector. He's going to be well up there, I think. Mediums, of course, might be a strategy call for Alpha Trix, but he's going 2.5 tenths quicker, and it could land him possibly into around P5, P6, I think. Alpha Trix now coming around the final couple of corners. Montana and Doom are back out on outlaps to both Reynolds. Alpha Trix will go through the final corner, comes across the line, and wow, he set a 24.4, goes 8th in the end, but he's less than 0.2 of a second off Neo, expecting to find a hell of a lot of time on that lap. Very nice stuff indeed from our defending champion out on track. Hopefully we'll get Bullet Boy back into the session. I can invite him into the session, but I'm sure he has got backup invites if he does want to join back. Montana and Doom, however, are on outlaps. We'll come on board with the Spaniard, who has really proven himself. He drove well in China, had a bit of a disaster, to be honest, in France. But now Doom, hopefully going to set the record straight here in Britain. As I say, these drivers have got a late on the line here tonight. They've got to prove to themselves that these are Division 1 drivers at their finest. And so far, you can tell in qualifying that these guys, bar Waluigi and Jasesas, who will inevitably improve on their times, they're all Division 1 drivers so far. Doom now around Club, now across the start-finish line to start us off once again on another lap. We'll cut through turn 1. Beautiful through farm, just a slight bit of over rotation. But Doom now through turn 3 into the loop section through 4. Very close to the apex there. You saw him go a high second down towards a low third gear through there to try and control the car through there. And the Spaniard now coming down the Wellington Straight. 26.9 through the first sector. Not too bad through the first sector at all. But Doom now coming round through Luffield. He hasn't set a time just yet, so that's why you're not seeing any improvement on the right-hand side of that graphic at the top right. Neo's still out on top. Toxic Tech and Montana third as we approach halfway in qualifying. There's a Williams off through turn 1. That might possibly be, as we see Doom invalidate through Cops and go for a spin. That over-rotation, you saw it actually just coming out of turn 3 through the village section. And Doom round, over-rotated the car through Cops. Rare mistake, to be honest, from the Spaniard. He's got his teammate Montana just in behind him. Teammate for the night, I should say, as he cuts across. You can see him cutting across Maggots and Beckett's. Montana really on the limit, coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. And his 200's down. He could improve on his time. We'll run on board with him. He is going to be one of the first to come across the line once again to set a lap. Alpha Trix still in the pits, by the way, on that turn of mediums. Neo out on top, Toxic second, Montana third. Montana, that is why you don't track extend coming through Stowe, because you pick up an invalidation, and that is the order of the day, really, in terms of some of the track penalties that these guys are being given. Bullet Boy is back into the session. D Daniel looks like he's going quicker here. Across the line, 24 flat, goes top, improves by 2.5 tenths. So we're seeing as the track evolves, the time will get quicker and quicker, and you won't be surprised to see a 23 in the order of the day soon. Jasesas coming around the final corner. I think he over-rotated through Club, across the line, and that puts him 9th, actually, 24.5. I was a bit confused. I thought he went quicker there, but he doesn't. He goes 5 tenths off D Daniel. Bullet Boy, by the way, has just rejoined the session, which is good to see. Suku, Rocco still yet to set lap times. So we'll go on board with Suku as he comes now through the Chapel section onto the hanger straight. 101.1 through the middle sector, and again indicative. He hasn't set a time just yet. Toxic, by the way, has improved up to second, and Killer Blue has gone third as well. Expect Neil to set a good time. I think that's him coming through the first sector and now through the village section. But Suku, his teammate in the meantime, now coming around the final two corners. Through Vale and into Club, through turn 18. Going to be a quick time from the pole. Across the line, goes third, 24.1 even, and goes 3 thousandths quicker than Killer Blue. Very minute margins here so far in Lobby 1 here tonight. Rocco comes across the line, just catching a ball, but the end of his lap, 24.4. Goodness me, I don't think I've ever seen a qualified section this close out on track. It's absolutely unbelievable. Verstappen improving by 900ths of a second. We'll go for broadcast cam, a horrible broadcast cam as we go on board with him. But now Verstappen across the line goes fifth, 124.163, and only 7 thousandths of a second separating Suku, Killer Blue and Verstappen for third, fourth and fifth. Neo is a tenth and a half up though. Let's see what he can do, the German. As he now comes through Stoll through 10.15, looking very nice. Doesn't rotate the car too much. But Neo now around the final couple of corners. About 10 seconds from that little banner he went under, the Rolex banner. And now Neo around the final corner. I think this is the first 23 of the night. Comes across the line. 23.9, 2.5 tenth improvement, and goes nearly a tenth quicker ahead of D. Daniels. So a very nice lap there by Neo. See if anybody else is on a lap. I think Alphatrix is on a lap on a set of softs. He's in the Alfa Romeo tonight. These are not the finalised cars, by the way, if you are just tuning in to the Lobby 1 action here tonight for pre-season race 3 in Britain. These are not the finalised cars. These guys have had a free choice of car. 1 minute 9 through the middle sector for Alphatrix. He's absolutely flying here. He could go ahead of Neo and quite frankly trump him. As he comes through Stoll, a little bit of over rotation, but he's fine through there. This is going to be quite level pegging, I think, with Neo as he comes around the final two corners. Through Vale and Club, Neo, D. Daniel, Toxic, your top three, but Alphatrix, I think, is going to go top, and he does by it good, nearly 2 tenths of a second. So Alphatrix, the defending champion, he is not the defending champion for anything. He goes on top by relatively the most comfortable margin you'll see so far in this session. 2 tenths of a second. But the top 15 of those guys who have set times, Bullet Boy now on a lap, Alphatrix currently out on top, Neil second, but the top 15 separated by less than a second. Absolutely unreal stuff. Bullet Boy now coming round. That is Doom just ahead of him. 101.1 through the middle sector. Not shabby from Bullet Boy through the middle sector in the Haas. Was his car last season, I do believe, as well. So the Haas car now coming round through Stowe and into Vale and Club. And the Brit now coming around the final two corners. Final three corners, in fact, through 16, 17. A lovely cut extend through 17. Catches on the curb. Slight mistake, but puts him 8th. And to be honest, I don't think he would have found much time on that. So not a bad lap there from Bullet Boy, given that he made a mistake late on through the final quarter, got caught on the curb. I think, minutely, I think he has cost at least 500ths of a second, maybe. So I think 8th is pretty much the right position for him to be in. So, Bullet Boy goes 8th with a 24.2. Very nice lap there from him. We've got Cohen on the lap, improving by 2.5 tenths. And if you are enjoying the stream so far, do leave us a like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you are, of course, new. If you're not new and you're expecting Division, I think it's Lobby 3 that is on at the same time. I think that's up now. Cohen goes 11th with a 24.3 and goes 7 thousandths off Spine. And we have now got Doom on a lap. Through Cops he goes, not over-rotating the car as much as what he did with his slight spin. Got a car just ahead of him. I think that is a Haas just ahead of him. Oh, and he goes over rotation through Maggots and Beckett. Got caught on the curb by the looks there, and Doom, as we go on board with him for the second time tonight, he has made another over-rotation on that car, and he's made another mistake, and quite frankly, Doom is the only one not to set a time just yet. Maybe the haunts of last season are coming back to haunt him. But I'm not going to commentators curse him. I haven't commentators cursed anyone tonight. So Doom will come into the pits. He's got about 3 minutes. He's got roughly about a minute and a half actually to get that car back out on track. So I think it's plenty of time, to be honest, in terms of the lap times. Montana is on a lap. 600s up through the first sector. The former champion of Season 2. He really dominated, and to be honest, if looking back, he had hardly any competition, to be honest, in that season. drivers dropping out. That is Dakar just getting out of the way to the right-hand side, but Montana now coming through turn number 9. He's currently 9th with a 24.2, as I say. And Montana coming through Maggott and Beckett, looking very good through there. Really on the power, really nice through there. And now Montana through Chapel. 1 minute point 9. He is on level pegging pretty much in terms of middle sectors with Alphatrix and Neo at this stage. So potentially he could go maybe second, I think, with this lap. The Renault now coming around the final corner. He's level pegging, I think, with Neo. Maybe level pegging with Alphatrix. Let's see what he can do. Through Vale and into Club. Now through the final corner at turn 18. Montana goes second by only 0.05 of a second from Neo, but a very good lap time there by the NSX man. The current champion leads the former champion so far in qualifying, but there's still 2 minutes to go. Quite a lot can still change. Be right on board with Spine. I think he was up through the middle sector there by at least 0.2 of a second, and now the Williams coming through still once again. Really see the off-camber corner if we cut on board there with Spine. So I'll work the spectator menu and get rid of it at the same time. Spine now around the final couple of corners. Looking like he's going to improve this. He's going to kill me, the cameraman, as he comes across the line. He goes 6th with a 24.1. Very nice lap there by the Swiss man. And again, he's on the pace once again. So that's very good to see. I think we've got Larkin on a lap as well as Dakar. Dakar's just ahead of him actually out on track. I think we've got Daniel possibly on a lap as well. Yeah, he's 800th up coming through Stowe. And with only 1 minute and 15 seconds to go, everyone out on track, ready to set their final laps here out on track tonight. And Daniel coming around the final corner, good improve through this final sector, goes 3rd. Splits Montana and Neo. Best of friends, Montana and Neo, but Daniel splits them both out on track. Let's get back on board with Dakar, who is coming round. He's actually invalidated or made a mistake, I think, the Red Bull man. So he's not going to be improving. Larkin is a 10th down, but he's backed off a lap as well. And you can see traffic beginning to build through Vale. Wonder how that's going to be taken by some of our drivers out on track tonight. Let's have a look, see if anybody is on a lap coming through the middle sector. Killer Blue is one of the ones that is coming through the middle sector. I think he's got Alphatrix possibly behind him out on track. So the Brit now hoping to improve. He's 200 up. He's got a slow car coming through Maggott and Beckett at Spine. But he gets out of the way. He does Spine. Killer Blue now around through Chapel. So through the middle sector. 1 minute point 9 again as Bullet Boy has left the session again. 10th up through the middle sector. He could go into 5th position. Judging by some of the improvements that could come ahead of him though, he could be dropping down the order. Killer Blue now round into the final 2 corners. Verstappen goes 5th ahead of Toxic by 500. Killer Blue now around the final corner, looking good through here. Crosses the line, goes 5th, right on the pace, 23.9. Alphatrix is improving by a 10th, coming across the line now. Alphatrix 23.5, 4 tenths ahead of Montana. Neo really the only one to beat him, possibly. We've got Toxic on a lap just behind him, so we're on board with Neo as he comes through Stowe. This is really getting down towards a nitty-gritty sort of end here in qualifying, as Neo is currently 4th and he's down on his time. Can he improve through the final sector? He's got to really improve, an absolute miracle, and he doesn't. He improved by only a minute margin of 0.005 of a second in the end. Let's see further down the field. Cohen is on a lap. Dakar across the line goes 10th to improve 0.2 of an improvement there. Cohen now through Maggott and Beckett. He's going to be one of the final ones as Spine has retired from the session in the pit lane. Cohen improving by 1/10 of a second. That's personal best through the middle sector for him. But it looks as if Alphatrix is out on top in qualifying. Cohen now coming around the final corners. He invalidates coming through Stowe. That is him done. And that is qualifying done as Verstappen is the only one to come into the pit lane. Alphatrix has taken it. And my God, he is dominant by the looks here at Britain. Alphatrix at his home track takes pole position from Montana in 2nd, Daniel in 3rd. Verstappen, interestingly, has retired from the session, but hasn't came into the pit lane, so he's going right out on the track. That's a bit of a weird one, to be honest. We're just waiting for Cohen to retire from the session, but Alphatrix out on top. Montana 2nd, Daniel in 3rd. Look at how close it is between 2nd and 5th. And look at how close it is between the whole field, just over a second, separating Alphatrix all the way down to Waluigi. June, by the way, did get a lap in, 24.2, going in 12th position for the Renault man. Hopefully we're going to see some fantastic racing out on track tonight. And if that qualifying session's anything to go by, we're going to be in for an absolute treat. So Alphatrix has taken it by 0.3 of a second, nearly 0.4 of a second for Montana in second, D. Daniel in third, Neo in fourth, with Killer Blue in fifth, Verstappen in sixth, Toxic seventh, Spine in eighth, Suku in ninth, Daka in 10th, Bullet Boy in 11th, Doom in 12th, Rocco in 13th, some very minute margins there. Just ASAS the reserve in 14th, Cohen in 15th, Larkin in 16th, and Waluigi the only one out of a second from Alphatrix, but he's finished 17th anyways in qualifying tonight. Let's have a look at, see, some of you guys out on track. All aboard the DRS train, says Montana. I totally agree with that, to be honest. I think tonight might be the DRS train that is going to come into effect, I think, out on track tonight. Can the P2 driver in the championship also be awarded as a champion? Not... I don't think so. Anyways, this is the final pre-season race, remember, so everything can be laid on the line right here. Cantera... just saying, 23.5. Yeah, really good time, I think, from Alphatrix. And if anybody can beat that, I will give you, straight up, a round of applause. I'm not going to commit any money or anything like that this season. Good evening to everyone that is tuning in, by the way. If you are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And tick that notification bell if you are new. We've got quite a lot in the pipeline, as Bullet Boy has joined. His car sadly not out on track, which is a shame, and that is due to his connection, I think. But 16 drivers in the meantime will do battle out on track. I think Bullet Boy was down in the bottom half of the field, if I'm not mistaken. So, with 10 seconds to go, who are your predictions on? Let me know in that comment section, and also let me know, because we're going to be trying a new feature, I think, from next week for Division 1, where I get to pick my top 3 or 5 moments of the race for next week, which is not going to be too bad. But in more priority terms, back underway, and Bullet Boy's car is not there, I do think. No, it is going round out on track. There is his Haas. So Bullet Boy is in the session. He can take control of the car. The car might speed off in front of the others just before the lights go out, but he's in the session, which is good to see, and he's automatically being put on a set of soft compound of tyres, which is not really the way to go, to be honest, around here at Silverstone, especially in the bottom half of the field. Top 10, of course, qualifying on a set of softs, so let's have a look then at some of the strategies. Doom, Just ASAS, Larkin, and Waluigi are the 4 that are not going to be on the set of softs. They're going for a set of mediums, so they could get to around halfway stage and then pit in. Set of softs pretty much going to last around 9 or 10 laps. Mediums can last around 16, 17 around here. You should get the pit stop strategy coming up on your screen very soon indeed, hopefully, and hopefully there's no glitch with the Amazon Web Services, the graphics that come up. But as we see Alphatrix flying through Maggots and Beckett's, it is time to make one of my first predictions of the season for tonight's race. And for me, my top 3 is going to be Alphatrix for the win, Montana second, and Neo for third. I'm going quite basic, to be honest. I'm going for the guys that show good pace in the race. So Alphatrix, Montana, Neo, my top 3 here tonight. The pit stop graphic should come up. I will warn you, it hasn't yet. It hasn't certainly come up on my screen. I bet you it comes up right at the beginning of the race. You watch. Alphatrix now coming round, along with the final drivers out on track. Bullet Boy's car, by the way, is coming through Vale and into Club now, through 16 and 17, but he is out on track, which I'm glad to report. But as the drivers line up, we're about to go green for some racing here at Silverstone, with fans in attendance and with you guys tuning in wherever you are around Europe and around the world. We are about to get going for pre-season race 3 here at Silverstone, and the lights are about to go out. We are on lap 1, by the way, not lap 2, as you can see in the top left side of your screen, but the 5 red lights should go out hopefully very soon indeed. There's a bit of a hold. I think it might be Bullet Boy possibly trying to take control of his car that might be causing the delay, or there's a glitch possibly on his end, but we're just holding the drivers here for now. There's only so much I can commentate about as we wait for the lights to go out, and everyone is on the graphic. You can see actually we're right on board with Alphatrix. There is everyone on the grid ready to go out on track tonight. There's Montana, there's Daniel, and there's Neo as well. So, the red lights haven't gone out just yet. These guys are held on the grid. I think it might be because Bullet Boy has joined the session. He might have to leave and then possibly rejoin back in the race. There might be a little bit of a glitch here within the lobby, so we might have to restart this. I'm not sure. But if Bullet Boy does leave the session, if he is tuning into the stream, it'll be massive help if we can try and get this race underway. Because I think there is obviously a bit of a lobby glitch with him joining from between qualifying and the race, I think it was, where he joined. So it has probably caused a little bit of a glitch on our end. Unless these guys have got underway on their end, then it's me to blame. But we should be getting underway. As Bullet Boy has now left, we're going to get back underway. Oh, and I've got an error. I've got an application error, and that is absolutely brilliant.